Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is another double up game that I'm doing with JDPL Grillo. This is taken from the release version, the very first patch of Set 12. And this is the first time that I've been able to get some footage of the unit that I've been talking about in the last couple of videos I've put together. That is the unit that ruined the first patch of Set 12. No less than Miss Syndra herself. So yes, we're finally going to get to see an actual Syndra game here. I've been trying to get some footage of a Syndra game, but this is the first time I actually was able to play it and have it come together the way that I wanted. Okay, so on our initial carousel here, we went for item payout. We are not going to get item payout. We actually end up getting the spatula option where everybody gets a spatula. Now, this is kind of an interesting option right now because most of the reroll team compositions that are really popular right now in Set 12, most of them don't really play into spatula options. So it's a little bit unusual because, like, if you're going to play the Syndra reroll, it doesn't really make particularly good use of a spatula. You can make like an Eldritch spatula, but it's not really that integral to playing Syndra. Most of the time people play Syndra with Shapeshifters or Vanguard, or there's even a Preserver version of Syndra, but none of them really need a spatula all that much. And in addition to that, a lot of the other reroll comps don't need spatulas either. If you're rerolling for Kassadin, which is a multi-striker Kassadin reroll comp, doesn't really need an emblem in any way. Not much you can make out of a spatula emblem. The Kog'Maw plus Nunu reroll does make use of one. You can make the Honeymancer emblem. But that's about it. So as I said, the fact that we've got this spatula, everybody starts the game with a spatula, is kind of weird given that all the reroll stuff that's popular right now doesn't really make particular use of getting emblems. So anyway, this will actually turn out to be a blessing in disguise because the very fact that so many people have these spatulas means a lot of people are going to go off and play things that are not the standard reroll team compositions, and that's actually going to work in our favor in this game. All right, so at this point, I had gotten a Swain to drop from the initial minion round, and as soon as I saw the Swain and I had the double Elises here, I was thinking, this, and I also had a Neela pop up. I was like, this could be an opportunity to go into Syndra here because I could make an Eldritch emblem with this. Oh, and by the way, now we have the option to take a Prismatic, which is I didn't really want here. I'm looking at the different options. I was thinking a lot about hard commit, gain a random emblem, now and after each carousel, gain a 1-star champion of that trait. Because if I can get a random emblem and then I also have a spatula here as well, I could potentially have +2 to a trait and I'd be getting guaranteed units. But I decided I'll go with I'm the carry now. Get a Sentinel with tailored offensive items that get stronger at the start of each state. This is one of the strongest performing prismatic traits in the data. The problem with hard commit is I could easily end up getting something that doesn't have a spatula attached to it, like does not have a craftable emblem. And I could also find myself in a position where I'm just going to end up conflicting items with someone like Grillo. Grillo has ended up getting a fairy crown. So he has +1 to the fairy trait, and because he has a spatula, he can make another fairy emblem. So he can actually get +2 to fairy trait, and that'll allow him to play 9 fairy, which is one of those chase traits. There's only 7 fairy units, but if you can get, if you have 2 emblems, if you hit all 7 units, which requires finding Melio, who's a 5 cost, as well as Callista and Rakan, who are both 4 costs, then you can play Fairy 9, which is of course extremely strong because it requires double emblems. But he already has the double, or he already has one of the emblems. I think he has to craft the other one with his spatula, but he should be able to get there. He just needs to find Melio and then the other fairy units, and then also get to level 9. So that's going to be our goal, is we're going to try to get there. I had looked around, and I'm going to end up sending him this Seraphine because I don't think that he had a Seraphine yet, and that's going to allow him to play some additional fairy units. I think that lets him play 4 fairy. He's also put the fairy emblem that he got out of his augment on Kassadin, and he's going to use Kassadin as his carry early in the game, which actually makes a lot of sense based on how he's playing because Kassadin's really, really strong in this particular patch. I am still hoping to find a Syndra for my board. As I said, I've had some luck at finding the Eldritch units. I had the early Swains, that gives me a Shapeshifter that I can play with the Elise. Typically, people will play Shyvana together with Elise, but I think that Swain is better. He's a 3 cost, obviously, as opposed to a 2 cost, and I think he makes good use of pairing up there on the front line together with the Elise. The Eldritch emblem does not actually give any stats. What the Eldritch emblem does is more ranks in Eldritch means that you summon a stronger version what is it? An old god is what it's called. This is the trait where, as you play more ranks in the trait, you get a unit that joins your board and it gets stronger as the game goes on. Also, haha, I am going to find a Syndra, so I will go ahead and do that. And I will happily put Syndra on my board and look to play off of this. All right, so now I've been able to get 4 Eldritch in. I just need to find an Ash in order to get potentially up to 5 Eldritch, which is going to be strong in the early game. Will fall off a little bit in the late game, but it should be very easy to play 7 Eldritch with this because I don't even have to find all 7 Eldritch units. There's only 7 Eldritch units. If you want to play Eldritch 10, you actually need 3 Eldritch emblems. So that's why Eldritch 10 is like the strongest trait in the set. But I don't need to find all 7 of them. I do not need to find Briar. I just need to find everything except Briar or everything except Nami, who's the 4-cost Eldritch unit. Briar is the 5-cost Eldritch unit. And then I'll be able to play Eldritch 7. But I need to make sure I hit 3-star Syndra first. So the goal will be to reroll for that Syndra. I found 1. Grillo will be looking for them for me. And that's the goal. He's got the 4 fairies, and he already has the double fairy emblem. Okay, he already has the double emblem, so he is going to try to get to level 9. I am going to try to get up to 7 Eldritch, and then also play for the 3-star Syndra. Now, in terms of itemizing Syndra, what people typically are looking to do is they want to try to get Syndra to get as many casts off as possible because she has an infinitely stacking ability that scales off of how many casts you get. Now, I am last pick on this carousel, so that limits some of what I can do, but I'm going to try to get a tier here because I would really like to get at least 1 tier for Syndra, and I think that's more useful than taking one of these frontline items. So I'll go ahead and grab that. And ideally what I'd look to find for Syndra is people... This also, by the way, makes 2-star Neela, which is not bad at all. Not bad at all. So what I would like to do is I would like to get a Spear of Shojin. I've got a tier now, so if I can get a sword, I'll be able to make Spear of Shojin. Then I would also like to get a Rage Blade, ideally. And then her third and final item would ideally be the Gnasher's Tooth. So that's what people have tried to do is they've tried to get... As I said, Spear of Shojin so that she generates more mana on her auto attacks, and then also Rage Blade, and then also Gnasher's Tooth. Now, I decided that I was not going to hold out to try to have perfect items. I had the ingredients for a Jeweled Gauntlet there, so I'm going to go for that. And now I'm looking to do Jeweled Gauntlet. That'll add damage. It does not make her cast more often, but it will significantly increase the damage when she does cast, because now her ability can crit. So now I'm going to look to make these a Spear of Shojin with that tier, and then either Rage Blade or Gnasher's Tooth would be great for the last item. These would not be seen as perfect Syndra items, but they're still pretty good Syndra items. This is also quite sad. I kill the entire enemy team, and then I end up getting reinforced on at the absolute last second here. And I get an entire enemy board. It's like not 1 or 2 units. It's literally a full team. And now Grillo can come over to help me, but I die 1 second before he comes over. And that's really annoying because I had taken a charm that was going to give me extra money if I won the round. And it also interrupts a win streak because I could have had full win streak all the way through stage 2 here. But that was just like a really, really unlucky sequence of events. I missed winning the round by like... I don't know, 1/10 of a second, 2/10 of a second, and then Grillo missed coming in by maybe less than half of a second. Also, whoever that team I was up against was fighting initially, they didn't kill anything on their board. I had 5 enemy units pop up on my board, so I almost was able to kill 2 full boards, but not quite enough. And then now I'm up against this team that I'm not quite sure what they're doing. They have a Sugar Crest emblem. Unfortunately, Sugar Crest is terrible in this patch. I really wish it wasn't. I enjoyed playing that trait on the public beta environment, but it's just awful in this particular patch version. It needs buffs desperately. So they're playing Sugar Crest, and they also have taken Prismatic Ticket, which gives no combat power whatsoever. Now compare that to my board. I have Eldritch in, so I get the Eldritch summon. Right now, it looks like it's Daisy from Ivern. So we've got the Eldritch 3, plus I also have the Golem from my Prismatic Augment. And by the way, I get another Syndra there, so that's super nice. Now I already have 2-star Syndra in at the end of stage 2. This is really, really happy. Really, really happy. Really, really good for my board. So I get the Eldritch Summon, plus I have the Golem with those 3 items on it. And I've managed to 2-star some of my units. I have 2-star Elise, 2-star Neela, 2-star Syndra. So I am hitting pretty good here. And we'll happily go to level 5 and play some of these other units. Now, losing that round was super sad because my economy is actually not that great. Because I'm hitting all these units, I'm a little bit poor in terms of actual economy. It would have been so good to have a win streak carry through. And I will get this. I will get the ingredients for a Gnasher's Tooth. So I was like, okay, I've got the ingredients for Gnasher's Tooth. I will just go ahead and make that. That means no Rage Blade for me, but I'm okay with that. I'm not going to try to hold out for absolutely perfect Syndra items. What I have here is plenty good. And then I get another Syndra here as well. So I'm definitely hitting these Syndras. There's also an Ashe in my store as well. So I can either play the Cassiopeia I could play the Cassiopeia to get Incanter trait in, or I could play the Ashe for 5 Eldritch. I think the 5 Eldritch is a little bit better, but I'm going to level 6 anyway. So on level 6, I'll just put in the Cassiopeia and I'll be perfectly happy with that. I'm also going to get a Mordekaiser over here from Grillo, so that is quite good. He was looking for Syndras. He hadn't found any, but he did find a Mordekaiser, and we decided it was worthwhile to use the Champion Send there just so we could get it on cooldown. Mordekaiser is an important unit for me to get. He's going to be one of my top frontliners on this board. And that allows me to play 5 Eldritch with a much better unit than Ashe. Ashe is just a trait bot in this team composition. Ashe is the unit that I will drop if I hit every other Eldritch unit. If I hit the other 6, I will not play her. All right, so you can see I win that round pretty easily, and like I could be on a 6-match winning streak right now, and I'd have so much more gold if that had happened. So really a bit unfortunate. The good news is I'm going to come over here and reinforce Grillo's board. He was going to lose this round, but we're able to keep his win streak alive, and that's what we want. We want him to keep win streaking because he has to get up to level 9 to play 9 fairies. Now we're going to get our second augment, and it's a silver augment. I was tempted by the 9 free shop rerolls. I don't think that would be terrible. It would basically be 18 gold worth of that. But then I see Young and Wild and Free is an option here. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take this. And I think I'd rather take this because I think I'm going to be last pick on all these carousels. We're win streaking right now. We have I had my win streak interrupted, but Grillo still hasn't lost yet. So we're going to be like last picks on all these carousels. I thought it would be valuable to just get the first pick on these carousels. If you're like low on health, then Young and Wild and Free doesn't really do much because you're going to be picking first anyway. But if you're like going to be last pick on every carousel, getting the ability to pick first is super valuable. So now I'm like basically guaranteed of getting my Spear of Shojin because I'm going to be first pick on this upcoming carousel. I'm just going to grab a sword and then I'll have my Spear of Shojin, and then Syndra will be all set to go. All right, now you are seeing on some of these other boards that people are making some things that are unusual with their spatulas, because like this person has gone ahead and made a pyro spatula, and or a pyro emblem, excuse me, and they've already found a very early Varus over there as well. Now I don't know what my Syndra's doing. For some reason she runs up next to Shyvana in this fight. I have no idea why she positions up there, but the good news is Eldritch 5 is pretty strong in the early game. I've got the Eldritch Malphite now that I have Eldritch 5. Plus, I still have that Golem with 3 items on it. So I get 2 extra units on my board right now, and they are able to still win that fight anyway. But like, look how poor I am. I'm still not even level 6 yet. I don't think that I've been like super aggressive about leveling or anything. I just am very low on gold. I did not get much gold from the minion round. I think I got 3 or 4 item components, but not much gold. And then I also have a very expensive board because, as I said, I had the 2-star Syndra, 2-star Neela, 2-star Ashe over there. I have 2 Mordekaisers on my bench. I have an extra Syndra for Syndra number 4. So like I'm hitting, and that's good. And I've only lost 1 round the entire game, but unfortunately that 1 loss did interrupt my win streak, and it cost me so much gold because I could be on a 7-match winning streak right now, and that would have been, I literally would have like 12 to 15 additional gold at this point if that had been the case. So I would have already gone level 6 by now, and then I would have had better odds to find Syndra. So a little bit unfortunate that 1 round really trolled my game. Also, I have no idea what this team is doing. They're down on 36 HP already, so I don't know what in the world is going on there. Anyway, I'm going to go over to Grillo's board. This is another round that looked like for sure that Grillo was going to lose, but I was able to get there in time, and it looks like we're going to be able to win this round just barely. There we go, just barely. And keep his win streak intact. And that's important because Grillo has taken the... by the way, here I'm going to be first choice, and then... Wait, what? There's no sword here. There's 4 cloaks and no swords. I'm like, are you kidding me? All right. So I'll end up taking a cloak here, and the reason why I take this is I do want to get some frontline, and I wanted to deny the Olaf because there's a team that has double frost emblems right now. Double frost emblems, and I know that they want Olaf so that they can play Olaf. I don't want them getting up to frost 7, so I'm going to grab the Olaf so I can deny that, and they'll be stuck on frost 5 for at least a little while longer. But like not having a sword there really, really hurt me. I was like, man, still no sword there? Are you kidding me? So no, I was not able to play that. At least I am able to get a Thief's Glove here. So I will go ahead and level to level 6 here, if I remember correctly. And by the way, I am going to send a Trist over to Grillo because he's on 2 out of 3 Trists, and Trist is holding his offensive items for the moment. So we'll go ahead and level. We'll put in the Cassiopeia, and I'm going to put the Thief's Glove on the Cassiopeia for right now because I thought I had enough front line. Other option could have been to put it maybe on like a Lise, but I decided that I had enough frontline for right now. And then now I've got this extra cloak, so I'm going to put this on Swain because I think Swain can hold my tank items reasonably. I'd rather put it on him than on the whatchamacallit, the Elise, who's a one cost unit. By the way, that team has double Witchcraft emblems, so this team's going to be scary as well. They already have double Witchcraft emblems. That means that they'll be able to play Witchcraft 8. They just have to get up to a higher tier of units, and they'll be able to put some of those Witchcraft emblems on better units. Like, they actually have a Witchcraft emblem on a Syndra right now, which is pretty funny. I was like, no, don't play Syndra, but they will definitely move that to another unit later on, because Syndra doesn't really fit a Witchcraft board particularly well. I mean, I guess she's alright, but they're just using that as a transition unit. And then we're going to be able to get over to Grillo's board and help him win streak again. Oh, to get back to my point from before, he has late game specialist as his silver augment. So late game specialist means when you hit level 9, you get, I think it's 33 gold. So this is going to help him play greedy and push to level 9. And the fact that we've been able to maintain full win streak on him is really valuable here because he's on a 9-match winning streaks, and that's just going to allow him to continue pushing faster and faster and faster to level 9 where he can play the 9 fairies. All right, so again, I lost that one round, had my win streak interrupted. I would also be on 9-round win streak with that. But while we have a minute here, let's go ahead and cover Syndra while we're on this last round here. I have not had a chance to talk about how her ability works. As I said, Syndra has really ruined this patch. That's the title of this video. I've talked about it in other videos that I've done on this patch. She has just completely ruined this patch because she's so overpowered in it. And rerolling for Syndra 3-star has just completely dominated everything else. In terms of the statistics, Syndra's average placement is like 4.04 right now in the data. She is a 2-cost unit. I want to make this clear. This is the average placement number of a 5-cost unit, and she is a 2-cost unit. But yeah, her average placement is like just barely over 4. Average finishes in, by the way, and then again, my win streak again interrupted because I get reinforced on. I just can't keep these win streaks going. It's so frustrating. Anyway, I am up to 6 Syndras, though, so that is good news. And I will continue picking up Neela's because rerolling for Neela does help me hit Syndra by picking them up as well. There's no reason not to grab them. And I am going to get another Syndra from Grillo, so that takes me up to 7. So I should be able to hit this pretty quickly here, or at least that's the hope. As I said, though, average placement is like 4.04, 4.05. That is the average finish of a 5-cost. She is a 2-cost unit. I cannot stress enough how overpowered this unit is. If you 3-star her, which again is not hard to do because she's a 2-cost unit and there's a billion of them in the pool. By the way, I once again do not get a sword. I get another tier. So I was like, I do not want another tier. So I'll go ahead and take this temporary Bramble Vest because I want to just not see charms in my shop. So okay, now I just need to hit 2 more Syndras. There's an Elise. I don't need an Elise. Let's keep going here. There's another one. All right, so now I'm on 8 Syndras. I just need 1 more Syndra, and I have the Syndra 3-star. So I'm just going to roll. I'm going to keep rolling here. I will pick up additional Swains. I think that's worthwhile to do. And I can pick up something. I'll drop the Cassiopeia because I don't actually care about Cassiopeia. She's going to get replaced by Karma later on. I was like, all right, I just need that 1 more Syndra. Now, since I did not hit a sword for Spear Surgeon, and since I have now gotten another tier, I will go ahead and make the blue buff. It's not as good on Syndra as Spear of Shojin. Her mana cost is high enough that it's better to make Spear of Shojin if you can. Her base mana cost is 60, so the Spear Surgeon is clearly better than the blue buff, but I had so many tiers, I had to do something with them, and so I was reasonably pleased with just go ahead and grabbing that. By the way, get reinforced on yet again here in these rounds. Every single one of these rounds, I would be winning, except I keep getting reinforced on. Now, Grillo's going to come over here. Can he help me win this one? I don't think he has quite enough there. It's close, but no, not quite enough. So once again, I'm losing these rounds, but I really feel like my board should be winning all of these rounds. I could now take Pandora's items, but it doesn't feel worthwhile. Like what I have is good enough. I don't think I need Pandora's items here. Little Buddies is potentially good. Actually, Little Buddies might not have been bad here because I am going to play some 4 and 5 quests. So I just take United Resistance instead so that the units that are standing together will get additional resistances. That's not too shabby. And now that I hit the 2-star Mordekaiser, I'll play that over the Ash, but I will hold the Ash. Now again, I still just need one more Syndra. I just need one more. I've been sitting here at 8 for some time now. Just need one more. And Grillo does have a copy of Syndra, but he also has a Briar on his bench. So I would really like it if he can use his Champion Send on a Briar instead. I am going to go ahead and make Steadfast Heart because that's always a good tank item. And then we'll see what else we can get from there. We do have a Carousel coming up as well. So if there's going to be a Syndra on Carousel, I would happily just take Syndra off Carousel regardless of the item so I could make it. Because I really want to level. I want to level to level. I want to get up to level 7 and level 8 so I can play the 7 Eldritch and look to push towards Briar and towards getting Nami, who's the other expensive Eldritch unit. Because my board is not bad. It's just being held back by having only the 2-star Syndra right now, and I really. I'm really close here on the Syndras. I'm like right there, but I can't quite seem to get it. Again, 3-star Syndra would have won that round very easily as well. So I'm just going to continue rolling here. I'm going to take the 2 free shot rerolls. That seems worthwhile. I can also send this Callista over to Grillo. And again, I'm seeing a lot of units here. I'm going to use my free rerolls. There's another Neela. There's another Swain. I'm on 6 Swains. I'm like, can I just hit this one unit? There's a Karma. I'll play that over the Cassiopeia, and I'm going to move the Thief's Glove up to Mordekaiser. So I'll put this tier on Karma. Now, can I just get like one more Syndra? I feel like in a way I've overrolled here, but when you're on 8 copies of your main carry and you're just one off, it is worthwhile to try to roll below 50 gold to try to hit that unit. But the Neela just will, or the Syndra just will not show up here for the Syndra 3-star. It's pretty wild. All right, I mean, again, my board still feels strong. I've been winning almost every single round where I don't get reinforced on, but like I am still level 6, and some of these other boards are like, this board's level 8. So it is getting harder and harder to keep winning these. And like I said, I will happily try to take a Syndra off this carousel if it's here. Because remember, I still have Young, Wild, and Free, so I can get whatever I want. And now I don't have any particular item I want. By the way, Grillo's board is starting to get quite strong because he's on 2-star Callista already. And that's nice. All right, so what can I get here? Is there a Syndra? No, there is not a Syndra here. But there is a Melio, and if we can take Melio, that would potentially mean that I can send it to Grillo for the next send. I know I just used one, but we'll have another one up about the middle point of stage 5. That way we're guaranteed to have a Melio for him. So if he gets unlucky and can't find Melio, this will guarantee that he can play the 9 fairy, which should be enough to carry us in the late game. So I'm going to grab that. And yeah, I did think about taking a Swain because I am on 6 Swains, and there was a Swain on that carousel, but I decided I would pass on that because it is a team game and it's important to try to improve my partner's board as well. So again, once again, I'm still on the 8 Syndras, but I decided I guess I'll just wait until after the minion round and roll then. It's really frustrating to be one off and having rolled all this gold and still being one off. A little bit ridiculous, but it is what it is. All right, as far as Syndra's actual ability, I should have covered this earlier in the video, but I'll cover it now. Again, Syndra is extremely overtuned in this patch. As I said, she is 4.05 average finish, and her 3-star version is like 3.15. So like your average finish is a 3rd place finish if you can 3-star Syndra, which is insane considering how contested she is. All right, here's her ability. Conjure a riff on the target, deals magic damage, and 20% shreds. That shreds magic resistance for 6 seconds. Ability upgrades the more it's cast. So it deals damage, and it actually deals a lot of damage. And it also is an MR shred as well. And then on top of that, it's also an infinitely scaling ability. After 15 casts, enemies adjacent to the target are also shredded and take magic damage. And then at 30 casts, for every 30 casts, create an additional rift on a nearby enemy that deals 35% damage. So she deals very heavy magic damage. The numbers are set way too high. She also shreds MR, and then she also hits enemies adjacent to the target who also have their MR shredded. And then for every 30 casts, she creates yet another rift that also deals magic damage. I mean, again, this is just a ridiculous scaling ability for a unit that is a 2-cost unit. And it basically makes her, she basically has the power level of somewhere between a 4 and a 5 cost unit. or that like her as a 2-star 2-cost, she basically performs as a 4-cost, maybe close to a 5-cost. It's utterly absurd how strong this unit is. You can see like I have not hit the 3-star, and I'm still been. It looks like I've lost a lot of rounds here, but remember, I got reinforced on for almost every single one of these rounds. I think I've only lost like 2 rounds where I wasn't reinforced on. So, I mean, again, the Syndra is really, really strong, and she does get more casts off in a double up mode where you have the chance to reinforce boards. She is currently at 55 casts. And her primary ability cast does 600 something damage. Now there's another Swain. Is there room to grab this Swain? I was like, all right, I'll sell the stupid Neela for that. I mean, I'm grabbing Neela's because it makes it easier to hit the Syndra 3-star, but I don't really care about Neela. She has no item. She's just in there as a trait bot. If she is a 3-star unit, then the Eldritch unit that comes in is stronger. As in past sets, when you play more Eldritch units, you get higher ranks of the trait, and the Eldritch unit is stronger based on the star level of your Eldritch units. Okay, so we're going to get a humongous drop of gold here, along with a vest, and then another humongous drop of gold. I was like, oh my god, this is so much gold here. I mean, this is good because now I can try to hit the Neela, or the Syndra. There we go. And now there's another Neela. So I'm going to level immediately to 7, and then I'm going to put in the... I'm going to get the Briar Sen from Grillo, and then I'm immediately going to level to level 8, so I can also put in the Ash. And there we go. Now, just like that, we're up to 7 Eldritch. We're looking a lot better here. I still have an item amble I can pull here. I was actually kind of hoping for a glove, so I could potentially Thief's Glove the Briar. That's not a possibility. So I'll go ahead and make Steadfast Heart here. And now I'm up to 7 Eldritch, and I have a somewhat awkward 3 Shapeshifter. I had thought earlier in the game that I would play Swain as a transition unit, and then I'd drop him later on, and I'd move the Eldritch Emblem to someone else. But having said that, because I have 7 Swains, I'm actually going to try to hit the 3-star Swain. I think that would actually be really good for my board if I could hit the 3-star Swain. Now that I'm at 7 Eldritch, instead of getting the Malphite, now I get Volibear, who is very strong. And this is what the data says about Eldritch trait is the 5 Eldritch is not that strong, but when you get up to the 7, it spikes a lot. The 7 Eldritch is much stronger. By the way, here's a spatula, which would be great. I could make another Eldritch spat, and then I could drop a unit. Then I could maybe drop the Ash, but unfortunately, it's too late in the game for this. There's really no way to get components at this point. You just get completed items. So the spatula is not going to do anything this late in the game, and honestly, the 15 gold is not really that relevant. The good news is I did hit the 3-star Syndra, so that's the unit I needed to hit, and now Syndra's damage goes up by a lot. I'll have to highlight her damage at some point, but the base amount of her damage goes from 340% at 2-star to 520% at 3-star. Yeah, 340 to 520. Do you think they maybe missed those numbers a little bit? Her ability increases its damage by like 70% when it goes to 3-star. That's just clearly too high. I can tell you from having played, and by the way, we knocked some poor team out. That was the Sugarcraft team. I said Sugarcraft is really weak in this patch. But like typically when a unit goes from 2-star to 3-star, their ability usually goes up in damage by like 40 to 50%. To have it go up by like 70% is clearly way too much. So anyway, we're going to be able to knock that team out. Another team's down on 1 HP, but there is a win-streaking team we have to worry about. By the way, there's another Briar. I'm actually on Briar pair, Karma pair, and then 7 Swains, 7 Neelas. I'm also just waiting for the Send to come back so I can send this Melio over to Grillo. He has made it to level 9, but he has not found a Melio yet. It's the only unit that he's missing. He's also on 6 Callistas, so there is a Callista 3-star angle here because no one is playing Callista. And I'm going to try to find that for him. So we're definitely going to look for that. Oh, and then just like that, he finds Emilio there at the last second. So it turns out that I did not have to take Emilio off that carousel, but we couldn't have known. He was not guaranteed to find Emilio at level 9. I do think it was the right play to take this because by taking Emilio, we were guaranteed that he'd be able to play 9 Fairy. Now he just needs to reconfigure his board so that he can get the 9 Fairy in. All right, I am up against the win-streaking team in the lobby. This is the team that has the Witchcraft emblems. They actually have 3 Witchcraft emblems, but does Syndra 3 still win against 8 Witchcraft? Yes, she does. Have I told you that Syndra 3 is extremely overpowered yet? You may have heard that at some points in time across these videos. Yeah, Syndra 3 is really stupid, so I can still beat the 8 Witchcraft board, and that's big just to end that person's win streak. So we are going to win. We were not able to double win that round, but that's because Grillo still did not have the 9 Fairy in. All right, now remember, I get first pick on the carousel, and look what's here. There's a Shapeshifter emblem here, so I was like, oh, that's perfect. that will let me play 4 Shapeshifter. I was thinking maybe I go to level 9 and put in Nasus, but now I can play 4 Shapeshifter right here. So I'm just going to try to hit this last Swain, and if I can hit this I actually need 2 more Swains, excuse me. If I can hit this remaining Swain, then I'll have, I will have 4 Shapeshifter plus 7 Eldritch with a 3-star Swain that has good items on him too. All right, we're also going to get the Send back, so there's the Melio going over to Grillo's board. Let's go ahead and, the only unit I can really turn into a Shapeshifter is the Neela, the only one that can like actually make use of this. And out of these items here, I was like, all right, I'll just put this on Karma. I was looking for maybe a Briar item, or maybe I could have done the Titans for Briar. That might have been better. I'm not actually sure how much Karma is doing in these teams, but she does have Encanter trait, so, and she's actually a pretty good unit in this particular patch, so we'll roll with it. Now, look at this board over here. This is the board that has the double Frost emblems. They actually have 2 Frost emblems and a Pyro emblem over here. The problem for them is they still have not managed to find a Diana. They do not have the 5-cost Frost unit yet, and that's unfortunate for them because that's the only thing they need is to play 9 Frost, which is a really one of those chase traits that's like super overtuned. So this board is not going to be very strong until they can find a Diana, and the good news is they have not been able to find it yet. So Swain up there tanking, Olaf's jumping around in the back lines. He's going to jump on Syndra. They simultaneously kill each other, and I am going to win that round and knock them down to 1 HP, so I'm pretty happy with that. One of the things about us being strong throughout this game has done is we have put a lot of pressure on the lobby. We've been able to get that team down to 1 HP, which is good because we really don't want them getting the Diana and being at 9 Frost. The one board is at 8 Witchcraft, the other board's at 9 Frost, so or is 1 away from 9 Frost, so we really don't want them to hit those chase traits. Now, if we win one more round, the game is over, so I'm going to go ahead and just roll it down. Oh, I went past a Neela there. Wow, I can't believe I went past a Neela. Anyway, I'm going to play, I finally find a Nami. I'm going to play that over Ashe, so I should have grabbed that. Now I'm on 8 Swains, so we'll keep rolling here. Can I find the last Swain? I'm disappointed I went past that Neela. I could have had Neela 3-star because I went past the 1 Neela. I'm just looking for that last one. There's a Nami. I can sell the what do you call it? The Mordekaisers, because I'm clearly not going to hit Mordekaiser 3-star. So, unfortunately, I am stuck on 8 Swains, 8 Neelas. As I said, I did miss that 1 Neela. Also have a Briar pair, also have a Nami pair. So I'm like really close to spiking in power. 1 more Swain, 1 more Neela, 1 more Briar, 1 more Nami. All of those things spike my board by a lot. In the meantime, though, I am up against the 8 Witchcraft board. They have triple Witchcraft emblems, as already explained. But the problem in this fight is not even all the Witchcraft emblems. The problem is they got a Fiora into my back line. I actually went back and watched this fight earlier. The Fiora just wrapped around my front line. I was just mispositioned. And once the Fiora gets in my back line, she starts killing everything. But it doesn't matter. Grillo has 9 Fairy in, and his 9 Fairy board just easily wins against the board that did not get to 9 Frost. They got stuck at 8 Frost. So we're going to take first place, and it's kind of it's a pretty comfortable victory right there. I just, if I had just managed to hit 1 more Swain, if I had hit the Syndra 3 a little bit earlier, if I hadn't had those win streaks interrupted, this could have been like an absolutely crushing victory. Instead, it was like just barely away from dominating, but it was still a very strong game. The fact that everybody had those spatulas to play around with, it actually helped us out a lot because it meant Syndra was uncontested. Nobody played Syndra. I was able to just reroll for Syndra, and nobody even tried to stop me. And Syndra's just so overpowered, she just won the lobby. That let us play greedy, let us get Grillo to fast 9, and then his 9 Fairy board kind of took over at the end game. But I could have gotten a lot stronger. As I said, a 1-off Swain 3-star, 1-off Neela 3-star, 1-off Briar 2-star, 1-off Nami 2-star. So I was close to being really, really strong. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will not post another video until we get past this stupid patch. So let's hope that the days of Syndra ruining things are over. Until then, take care, folks, and I'll see you again soon.